There are movements that say everything without needing much explanation. When the front office acts quickly, before a problem arises, it's because they saw value where few were looking. And in Minnesota, this just happened. If you want to understand the real impact of this decision for the Vikings, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and let's talk. The Minnesota Vikings are building a new identity under Brian Flores, and one of the pillars of this defensive rebuild has just been solidified. The team has renewed with one of the key players from last season, a player who came with a modest contract but exploded on the field, Andrew Van Ginkel. The OLB signed a one-year extension, effectively keeping him in Minnesota until the end of 2026 and also guaranteeing a nice pay raise. The reward for a year of high impact. Van Ginkel arrived in 2023 from the Dolphins with a 2-year contract worth $20 million, half of it guaranteed. The idea was to bet on a player who knew Flores' system well, and he delivered. 11.5 sacks, a constant presence and pressure, versatility against the run game, and a difference maker in coverage. 2 pick sixes, Pro Bowl, second-team All-Pro, and 7th in the DPOY race. The numbers speak for themselves. But what weighed the most was the fit. Van Ginkel became the extension of Flores' mentality on the field, a true program player. For the front office, the decision to extend the contract now is also strategic. In an interview, GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah revealed that the initial intention was a 3-year deal in 2023, but competition led to signing for 2. Now, with proven performance, the team is acting before the next free agency window. Moreover, with Pat Jones II leaving, the Vikings ensure depth and leadership in the position. The extension also shows something important. The Vikings are thinking about quality rotation, not a fixed hierarchy. The roster currently includes Jonathan Greenard, another Pro Bowler, and first-round rookie Dallas Turner. This doesn't mean Turner will be sidelined. On the contrary, with the versatility of the 3, it's possible to align all 3 together, with one of them as an inside linebacker, or even pressing from the middle. It also allows for breath preservation throughout the games. The idea is to have each on the field 60 to 70% of the time, always at high intensity. The message that fans need to understand is clear. The Vikings are not just gathering names. They are building a defense with identity, tactical fit, and behavioral profile. Van Ginkel represents that, an underrated player who has become a technical and cultural reference. And the extension is not just about 2025 or 2026. It's about continuing a project that now has defined key pieces. And you, Vikings fan, do you like this renewal? Do you believe Van Ginkel deserves this leadership role on the defense, or do you think the focus should be on the new generation? Comment below, because this is serious fan talk. There are times when the entire fan base sees one thing, but the front office holds the game. And it's not because they are lost, no. It's strategy, it's timing, it's part of a process. But the question is in the air. Why, after all, haven't the Minnesota Vikings confirmed who will be the starting quarterback? The Minnesota Vikings are going through a clear transition at the most important position in football. After years of stability, the franchise is now betting on a promising future. And they did so with a decision. They traded up in the draft and selected a quarterback in the top 10, a move that isn't made by chance. But even so, Kevin O'Connell, the NFL Coach of the Year, continues to avoid the label of starting QB for the rookie. And there's a reason for that. In an interview with Kay Adams, O'Connell explained, "The moment now is for learning, for installing the system, without physical contact, without defense on the other side, without real pressure." According to him, the focus is to provide all the support so that the young player is ready for training camp. JJ is going to get all the necessary work so that we finish the spring feeling great about his progress, said O'Connell. It's a structured approach that prioritizes the athlete's development before labeling him. And let's be frank, everything points to him being the starter in Week 1. The draft pick, the move for Sam Howell as an experienced backup, the presence of Brett Rypien as the third name. Everything is set, but O'Connell doesn't want to skip steps. And this isn't fear, it's environment management. J.J. McCarthy is young, has natural pressure on his shoulders, and needs to feel that he is earning the position. Not that it was handed to him. This strengthens the locker room. It strengthens the relationship with the veterans. It strengthens the culture. Now, from a technical standpoint, McCarthy is clearly the name with the highest ceiling on the roster. Sam Howell is a solid competitor, but he came to be support. Rypien doesn't even enter the conversation. The team is building around McCarthy. What O'Connell is doing is taking care of mental, physical, and tactical preparation. And he made it clear that the number 9 jersey is responding. He has improved in rehabilitation, gained mass, and is stronger than before the injury. Everything is ready for him to dominate the camp. Vikings fans need to understand, the official statement doesn't change the plan. McCarthy is the future and very likely the present. But confirming this now is a political move. It avoids noise, protects the player, and gives him the freedom to grow without the weight of the label before the right time. When camp arrives, if he's the best on the field, no one can hold him back. And that's what matters. And you, fan, do you think it's time to confirm McCarthy as QB1, or do you support this strategy of developing first and announcing later? Comment below, because this is serious fan talk. The 201st pick in the 2025 draft has a name. Kobe King, linebacker coming from Penn State, with an aggressive profile and proven leadership. He was a captain, second-team All-Big Ten, and put up strong numbers. In 2024, he recorded 97 tackles, 9 for a loss of yards, 3 sacks, and forced a fumble, and more. He has one of the best defensive grades against the run game in all of NCAA over the past 2 years, according to PFF. That's no small feat. The positive alert is brought by Matt Miller from ESPN. According to him, this was the best value pick of the 6th round. He said he evaluated the player as a 4th-round talent and praised his style. Run and chase linebacker. Hard to block when he accelerates downhill. And it's not just him. Dane Brugler from The Athletic also gave a 4th-round grade. He highlighted the aggression, the use of eyes, and the explosiveness on contact. Of course, he acknowledges limitations in coverage. But the impact against the run game is immediate. For the Vikings defense, this is gold. Brian Flores likes versatility, but also values guys who hit with authority. And King is exactly that. Violent in the best sense of the term. Physical, straightforward, with good timing to find the RB in the backfield. GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah said it all. Impact tackler with the potential to be a starter in the future. He starts as a reinforcement on special teams, but the ceiling is there. If he develops in coverage, he becomes a real piece in the rotation. The reality is that Blake Cashman and Ivan Pace Jr. are the names at the position today. But the NFL is a league of injuries and opportunities. If King shows consistency in practice, quick reading, and discipline, he could earn a spot as early as 2025. The communication, which was a highlight for him at Penn State, is a differentiator for a rookie. He doesn't need to be the fastest if he is the smartest, and that can shorten the path to a larger role. Vikings fans need to look at Kobe King closely, because the team found real value at a time when most are looking for pure gambles. It's not a promise without backing. He's a productive player, with clear characteristics and fit in the system. And in a group that is shaping up with youth and explosiveness, he could be that name that arrives quietly and stays. And you, Vikings fan, do you believe Kobe King can become a starter in the future? Or would you prefer to wait and see on the field? Comment below, leave a like, and subscribe, because this is serious fan talk.